Okay, well, good morning and afternoon, everyone. We're back now from Orlando. The event has been and gone, and what we'd like to do today is take just a few minutes for people to be able to share their experiences, their highlights, what they got from the event, the feelings that they experienced, the friends that they made, and just to be able to share with those on the call today that didn't have the opportunity to attend Orlando, just give them some insights and help them feel a little bit of connection with the experience. So I'm going to put this into mute all, but as I just explained, if we can please have it so that if you wish to say something, if you just wish to unmute yourself and contribute, that would be wonderful. So who wants to start us off? We had a full agenda over the weekend, so any volunteers as to who would like to get us going? Molly, did you just unmute your line?
I did.
Awesome. Go for it, Molly.
There's so much. I think everyone that went, their heart and their heads were full. It just was amazing. Everyone was so well fed, emotionally, mentally. It just was fantastic. But there were a few golden nuggets that really I took to heart and I'm ready to put into action. And I loved what Anton McBurney said about telos. And how when you ask someone why they're doing NECAN, they may, what their goals are. They may say going to silver or diamond or whatever, but that's not really getting into the heart. You have to say, so you ask another question and say, to what end? To what end? And that really helped me get clearer on my motivation. Once you start to hit the heart and get the emotion out of it, then you're giving yourself enough fuel to propel forward into your goal and your purpose. And
yeah. I like that. I like that. He gave an incredible presentation on how to set meaningful goals. And I think that was really critical, that point that you mentioned there about really getting to the core. One of the quotes that he shared that I really liked was, you have to do it by yourself, but you cannot do it alone.
Yes.
And I like, that juxtaposition there of essential personal effort, but also not in isolation.
Right.
I thought that was a great message. Anything else, Molly, before we jump on to someone else?
Well, you segued beautifully. It's just the key to success is helping somebody else.
Yeah.
I love that. Putting your focus onto other people really is what propels and makes it
yeah. Excellent. I can see Bob and Sue raising their hand there. Do you want to unmute your line? Yep. You already have. Go for it. Go for it.
I think the highlight of the whole thing was Ruth Lowe.
Yeah, I love it.
She made the NECAN business plan so simple for a person to follow. And if you can't follow that, you can't follow anything. So I love Ruth Lowe. She's
excellent.
My hero.
Excellent. Now, I did notice that Ruth got a standing ovation with her presentation.
Yes, she did. And she deserved it.
Yeah. So anything in particular there that she said that helped kind of resonate with you regarding the explanation of the business and what have you?
Well, it's just the fact that you share things from your heart. You know, and you're not trying to persuade anybody to do anything. You just share with them, and when they see you're enthused, they're going to get enthused. So
yeah. Now, Ruth, you had a lot of specifics. I think one of the reasons, in my opinion, one of the reasons you got a standing ovation was because you had concrete, meaningful substance around your subject. It was immediately applicable. It was clear. It was specific. It was direct. Any particular highlights from your side? I know you're the one that created the presentation, but what were some of the key points for those that weren't at the event that you felt were really important for you to get across?
The biggest one that I learned from my ahas when I was interviewing everybody was the fact that looking for somebody that compliments you. That totally took me by surprise.
So let's just, sorry, Ruth, let's just interject a quick second. The subject of your presentation, just for those that weren't here.
Oh, contact and inviting.
Yeah, so exactly. Yes. So in that context.
In the context, Right. So Veronica, the one that you guys went to, Mexico City, that had 650 people at her event, one thing she shared with us is that, I'm out there, I set the intention of going out there looking for people that will complement my skills, because whatever I'm weak at, I want to find something that's strong in. Yeah. And so that complementing makes them together as one unit much stronger as a team. And that was a huge aha for me. And I think just willingness to go out there and truly share from the heart. I heard that a lot from Julie Tara and even from Mike and you in your videos that I watched over and over again. It really is important to come from the heart. Yeah. So those were really key things. I tell you, it definitely, I felt like Dave Johnson. I felt like I'm excited just by preparing to talk like that. It's got me all excited again to do what I want to do. And it's wonderful. Yeah. Thank you for the.
Fantastic. Okay, who's next? Any highlights, thoughts, key messages? Madeline.
Yes, for me, it's bridging the gap from theory to action and doing it. Time to do it.
Yeah.
The heart and the emotion that's been mentioned, several of us in talking at the speakeasies afterwards, the real tears. Not only from the top leaders, but others that shared their stories. So we've had so much theory for so long. What was, I think for me, the hallmark is so many different people with all their different examples of that theory in action, and that it's showing up with the growth. So it's time for me to get out of this house and get into action.
I love it. Now, Madeline, you also participated on stage in the professionals panel. What were some of the key messages you got from that experience on stage? What were some of the key points in working with professionals that you saw come out?
Well, it was certainly true of me, and I see this with some other professionals. To profess means to come from a body of knowledge, and it's easy for us to go back into that backup behavior of wherever we come from, where we're more comfortable. And so the new body of knowledge is to become a professional network marketing professional as well
really
as
like that.
direct sales. And so we have lots of advantages because we understand the need for continuing education, relationships, referral, and so forth. But it is a transition. It doesn't matter what the transition is. So professionals make good people to target, connecting them with the right ABCs and providing this kind of a milieu here and or in meetings is particularly important. And that we're going to back up, but you prospect us the same way you prospect anybody else. You have to get down to what is the why that they might be so inclined to want to leave whatever the profession, law for Randy, medicine for others, nursing and healthcare administration for me, to leave that. There has to be a why to want to be a part of this kind of purpose-driven community. So it's everything we're saying. Prospecting a professional is no different than prospecting the cab driver from Latin America, if we do the contact and inviting and then the connecting, the whole process. So action. And that's what I really came away with, and I thank you very much.
Oh, awesome. I like that point, because a lot of people do get intimidated at talking to professional people that have maybe a plethora of degrees or high level kind of career positions and things. And I like what you said, that it's really no different to approaching anyone else if we are, of course, making that emotional relationship connection. And I think that's really good. Dee Welsh, I'm going to ask you to unmute your line, if that's all right. I saw your beaming, smiling face continually at this weekend's event. So what did you get from this?
Oh, all of what others have said for sure. And, I think the combination, it was such a professional event with such a wide variety of offerings from all the people who presented and shared. And it was the combination of the heart and the knowledge, the wisdom, the skills that people have developed along the way and shared with us. And then the inner community of the attendees and the leaders and the presenters, that it's like we're all one, right? I mean, along with the rest of the world, it's just continuing to, and for me, I'm very weak on pulling in A's and again. That's reinforced time and time again. And just being more willing to talk to more people and share this great vision and company and process of helping each other help ourselves.
Yeah, yeah. No, fantastic. It's you're right. There was definitely a very strong outpouring of both heart and mind, I think, at this event, which came both, like you said, on stage, off stage, from the new people to the most seasoned and experienced field leaders in the audience. So that was really inspiring for me as well. Now, Doug Tsai from San Francisco had the chance to personally pin a new silver on stage, which was neat. One of the things that I really did like about the way recognition was done over the weekend was the uplines did the pinning and did the introductions of their downline, which made it so much more personal. It was a really lovely experience. And Doug, do you want to tell us from your perspective, what was it like for you there with the new silver, of course, with Andrew, but also what did you get out of it as a business professional?
It's absolutely incredible, especially when you are cultivating this organization that you're building. Everyone's participation and the efforts and moving people up, bringing people up to their success. The feedback, even getting from Andrew, was this is incredible. Recognitions really help a lot of motivation, a lot of things move forward. It's also a proud moment for myself to really discover there are people that are wanting and willing to reach for success. And it couldn't be happier to see how these growths happen. So me being part of it, me pinning it for it is without a doubt another level of experience for myself to know that this is what Nick can help create. It helps foster this. So it was, thank you. It was a great moment.
Well, I think, richly deserved. It's important to recognize the role of the upline in the downline's achievements, isn't it? And for you to be able to personally pin and get up on stage with them. I know, I've seen you two together in different parts of the country a number of times over now. We bump into each other all around the world, don't we? But you two are a tag team, and you work together. You're close together. You build each other, and it was just a thrill to be able to see you have the privilege of pinning your friend and business partner on stage.
Well, and thank you. Because Andrew and I really believe we want to put our generation of people on the map. With Nikan, connecting them with that. So our beliefs, our faith going stronger with this is bigger than ever. So we've got a lot of sleeves rolling up for this.
I like it. Can you feel how belief grows as a consequence of these experiences? Like Doug just said, our belief is bigger than ever. And I think one of the critical points we have to come away from these events with is our team's convictions expand as a consequence of being together in a place like this. It's not just that we have the inspirational messages at the front of the room, and it's not just that we hear great instruction. It's the togetherness. It's also the stuff that happens outside of the meetings that seems to have a significant impact. Suzanne Steele, you were there with your sister. I got the chance to chat with your sister a little bit while I was there as well. What did you get from the weekend?
That was a really good segue, Ben, because not only the conviction, it was the expansion of the vision. And that's what she really got. And the other two that I had with me there, their vision just expanded. So that was huge. And I think two other things that I took away. One was the format that you created, giving us bigger blocks and instructing everyone to stay in the room, I think created a new experience, a new level of being present and really being present. So that idea of respect and being present for each speaker, so that leaving there caused me to think about being present with each person that I'm meeting. And so that was one of the ahas for me. And the other one was Ruth and I were lucky enough in the roundtable to spend 3 roundtable sessions with Alejandra. She was off to the side.
Yeah.
And one of the many keys I took away from that session was setting up your day, creating that early morning focus. And it was really about clear, concise focus and, just setting yourself up for success.
Well, let's touch on that just a little further. I know for those of you that don't know, Alejandra, it's Alejandra Castillo Nava. She's a recently rank advanced Royal Diamond from Mexico. And she was there. She's in her 30s, a mother of 4 children, and a very active, very engaged Nikken consultant. And for many, I know it's hard to kind of pin the highlights and the favorites, but I know for many, hearing what she said, she was much like Ruth, where she gave an awful lot of substance and specifics on her subject. Her subject was how to build a team spirit. And she did it not from the context of a Royal Diamond, which she is, but from the context of someone that is brand new, just starting to build their team. And I thought that was particularly interesting. And one of the things that she highlighted was the importance of having the monthly meetings, that we can pull people together, and that rhythm that Mike DiMuccio has talked about for years and years and years. She was saying this is the way to move it forward. We've got to have that rhythm of monthly meetings. And she also established a leadership pool, didn't she? In saying you got to be silver or above, you got to be achieving 2,000 PGV each month. And if you do that, we have our leadership breakfast, we get special recognition, we get insights together. But they would also plan out the month at the beginning of each month together so that people knew what they were doing, what they were reaching for. And to me, that was really, really instructive. It was very hands-on. And she also emphasized the role of social media in promoting all of their activity and what they're doing. Let the world see that we're engaged in building. So I've kind of found she echoed a lot of the messages that have come out in this Launch Partners Active Wellness Tour that we've been teaching, engaged in for so long over these last, throughout the course of this year. So to me, she was a particular favorite also. So, oh, it sounds like someone was about to say something.
Can
Rachel.
I talk then?
Yeah, go for it, Rachel. Yeah, jumping in.
I wanted to share, kind of coming off Madeline saying get in action. I was so grateful I asked to have breakfast with you on Sunday morning, and how much clarity and excitement. I actually had the thing going where I'm exhausted, but I could not sleep last night because I'm thinking in a whole different level. So what Ben shared was look at the end of what you want at your monthly meeting, and where is it now and where is it progressing to? And really to me came out the quality of people. So when you're talking about professionals, it's like I need to go to a top 20 list, because the quality of people that I want to bring into this build are going to be, if it's not them, they're going to be the advisory council for who I could talk to that they know that has that level. They're really wanting to create something. So Ben, that building that Michael talked about in his talk really is what I was seeing you talking about, Ben, at breakfast. So, now I'm in a mindset of 10 this month, 30's my goal for June. Coming together with Michelle down in Denver, Boulder. We're thinking more like Denver, and 60. I mean, it has leapt me in my thinking, and who I'm going to talk to, who I'm going to spend my time talking with. Prospecting this became very different.
Yeah, no, I like that. It's really important as well. One of the things that we talked about over that breakfast on Sunday morning was reaching out to people that have skill sets that we don't have. For example, some people have thought, okay, social media is the way forward, online marketing, and of course that's such a broad subject, isn't it, when we say that? But the digital era means we transfer our skills into a different place. But of course, many of us don't have the years of experience in dealing with it and understanding it. And that can suddenly make us feel overwhelmed, and we go, oh my gosh, am I going to get left behind? Am I outdated? How do I manage this? And of course, the solution is, don't strive to learn all that stuff yourself and try to teach it to other people. Find some people that already have that skill set and bring them in. I'll give you an interesting example of that. I was having a conversation on the coach from the airport to the Fairmont Mayakoba in Cancun with Nadine Staff. And I think Nadine is kind of famous in Nikan for being the kind of the ideal online retailer. She makes, averages about $5,000 a month, and she doesn't even speak to anyone. And it's like, how does she do that? That's just fantastic. But she was saying to me, she said, but Ben, she said, I love what I'm doing, but I do want to get into the networking side, because I see that's where I can really leverage my income, and I want to get to the diamond level or above, because that's where I see the full potential of the business being. And she said, but I'm daunted, I'm overwhelmed at the thought of having all of these people that I might need to manage where I don't have these particular skills. How do I build the team? What if they ask me questions I don't have answers to? All of these typical questions that so many of us can relate to, yeah? And of course, I'd have to have a big team to be a diamond. And I said, hang on a second, Nadine. I said, how many people do you know that have a skill set like yours? And she said, well, I know quite a few, because I took a course to learn these skills. And so I know other people that were on the course. And I said, do you think they would be interested in having an online business like you have? Well, actually, now that you say it, yes. Do you think that they would need much training because they've got your skill set? Actually, no, they probably wouldn't. In fact, some of them I think I would learn from myself. I said, how many of these people would you need in your business if they're each creating $5,000 worth of retail each month? How many of these guys would you need to be a diamond? And she goes, oh, I don't think that many. I said, what's your solution then to your challenge? I need to go after these types of people. And so as you look at your business, if you look at areas of strength that you have, bring that to the table, and then look for the areas of weakness and seek those people out. Bring them in, bring them into the fold, bring them into your business so that they feel a collective part of a movement that you are creating, where they have an intrinsic essential role to play in building the business as a team. And I love that. So that's something that I was reminded of, Rachel, when we had our breakfast on the Sunday morning.
Yeah, well, it was great. I have 2 people I'm talking with. Sorry. I don't know. Maybe that's.
So try muting and then unmuting. See if that does anything.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I've got the whole thing in my head on that one. I should have gotten out in bed and written it down so I could go back to sleep. I think I've caught a cold from being in air conditioning, freezing to death. But huge part of it. And it comes back to Ruth for me. Sponsor the people in that complement what you don't have, because I don't want to sit there and learn it. Some of you are learning it. I really don't want to. I want somebody that knows it, and let them come on board, and I'll do what I'm good at. And I feel very confident because of how professionally this has all come together for all of us in the last year to articulate and communicate exactly what I need to attract real business people.
Yeah, fantastic. We've got time for just a couple more thoughts. Let me ask Barb Satterwhite. Barb, you also sat in one of the panels on the women's panel, talking about the unique roles that women play, the unique challenges, and also the unique opportunities. And this was something that I know a lot of people were looking forward to seeing on stage, this women's panel. Tell me, what were some of the key messages that you got from that, and then perhaps some of the highlights from the event as well, if that's all right?
Well, obviously, with the panel, it was interesting for me unfortunately I was a bit emotional, but you know, there's so much that you can share with everybody, and with women in terms of juggling everything and balancing everything. Some key things came out, and I think it's been brought up a couple of times about that early morning focus, which I think people don't tend to do a lot of. And it's like I said on the panel, I am just totally in awe of those that have 5 and 7 children and do all of this. So for me, it was a different type of balance, but I got so much from the whole event. And I'm just going to give you a couple of tidbits. Brody, I loved his when he talked about just the basic things like get stuff, go to stuff, take people to stuff, don't quit and focus. And then how you launch your meetings is important, because that's what you're setting up a mold for duplication. So however you launch. And so now that we have some good tools that are consistent, that's exciting to me, so that we can launch somebody in a way that they can duplicate. Yeah. Because all of us on this call get to where we are with no problem, but to have that duplicated is the big deal. So that was big. And then Susan Carver just reiterating about pre-qualifying versus prejudging.
Oh, I loved that line. Yeah.
Now, we all know not to prejudge, but to emphasize the pre-qualifying, it was important. It goes along with what you're saying, Rachel, is like, okay, who do I really want to work with? So those were 2 tidbits. There was lots, as you know, but I really enjoyed it, and it was awesome. And, you know, I think I said as soon as I walked in the room, everything felt different. The energy, the warmth in the room alone, not even talking about people, was different. So what you did in terms of setting the stage, and then, of course, all of the speakers were super.
Yeah. Fantastic. I know there was a lot of feedback on the branding of the event, and we had those banners, which if you weren't there, you perhaps saw in the background on the pictures on Facebook. And I've had a number of requests for the artwork for those banners. I deliberately made sure that they were not branded to the event, that we can use them wherever we choose. Each banner represented one of the 5 pillars. What I'll do is I'll get the artwork to Mike. Mike, could we get that? Can we upload that via Facebook? Is that possible, or do we need to do it?
Yeah, as long as they're not bigger than 25 megabytes a piece, we can put that onto our launch partners cool. site, the high resolution images of each.
Okay, let me check the resolution, and if it can't be done there, I'll send out perhaps a Dropbox link and we can circulate it that way. But if you want to get one or a number of those banners, then of course the artwork's there to be shared and used as well. So maybe just a couple more. I've noticed, Dave, you're on the call as well. Dave, do you want to, any quick remarks from you on what you got from the event, what you saw and felt?
Oh, just a quick remark. I am so pumped. I was really amazed at just the synchronicity. Everybody was saying pretty much the same thing. Just reaffirmed to me just the high quality of people, folks that I would love to hang around with and be friends with anyway. And just reaffirming we really have something important. We can change the world. We have such an important thing that is irreplaceable. Our products, the pricing, the value, just a value offering that we can give somebody. We are the best in every way possible right now. They're just really, we're incomparable. And no matter what anybody else is doing, if they run with us, they could probably make a bigger footprint as far as just positivity to the world. And it just seems like this really is our moment. I think everybody just could feel it, that we are in the form. It's always been a good time to share NECAN, but especially right now, we can really cover some distance. It's happening. And I've done pretty good in NECAN so far, and I really want to be relevant in the new era.
Yeah, I love your understatedness, Dave. I've done pretty well so far, I think. Yeah, there's a wonderful understatement there.
Today is Dave's birthday, by the way.
Dave, happy birthday for today.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, so hopefully you're having the chance to celebrate wonderfully this evening. So let me just pass the time. Let Mike Demucha just say a word of conclusion. As you all know, Mike was a significant instrument in getting this event to what it was, and certainly a strong facilitator of the whole weekend as well. So, Mike, any thoughts from your end?
Well, I want to say how grateful I am to have a partner to work with, because that makes all the difference in the world for me. So thanks, Ben, for being an amazing running mate.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was a phenomenal event, and everyone's contribution is felt. You know, I think I was saying this last night on one of my calls, and to you, Kim.
Hi.
Hi. I was just really happy to spend time with Oliver too, because it kind of brought me back in time. I was saying this year, the Toronto Maple Leafs had, for the first time in a very, very long time, a pretty decent hockey club to watch. And the last time they won the Stanley Cup was 1967. So you can imagine how anxious the population of Toronto has been, who's ever been a fan of the Leafs, for them to have something happen. Well, this year was their 100th anniversary as a club. But instead of doing the traditional branding 100, as in celebration of 100 years, they turned the number around as 001, meaning it's year one. And so it's year one of this new Toronto Maple Leaf club that made it to the playoffs for the first time in years. And so it's kind of like what I was saying to the group last night. That's what this feels like right now. It feels like year one for Niken. And regardless of the fact that we've had 42 years, you know, turn that around where we're concerned, where this group is concerned, where this business plan is concerned, where the timing and space of the universe is concerned. This is year one for us. So the trajectory that we're setting in motion is one that's on the rise. And gosh, who knows how far this is going to go, but I know I want to be part of it. So thanks for allowing that.
Yeah, thank you. And you're absolutely right. And one of the things I think that helps to take it on the rise is the people that we're doing the business with. You know, as kind of bringing it full circle, we have to do it by ourselves, but we cannot do it alone. You know, it's our personal effort that will make us succeed, but it's not personal effort in isolation. It's an us thing. And you know, a highlight for me was one that I did not anticipate. And that was, you know, being an event host. Of course, my eye is on everything that's going on in the room, making sure that AV's working as it should, making sure people are in the right space, ready to go up on stage, making sure the music's ready to play, making sure everyone's happy, the temperature's good, all that stuff. But then emceeing and speaking and holding a 1-year-old at the same time with my wife. And who said men can't multitask? Goodness me. But the thing that really, the thing that really got me was all the different mums and dads, aunties and uncles, grandmas and granddads that popped out of the room to hold Oliver while we went up on stage, or to give us a break so that we could pay attention. And I just loved seeing him in so many different people's arms that were caring and loving him and looking after him. And it brought the context of a family business to a very different plane for me. And it was really moving just to see that the family context wasn't just me and Kim and our children, but it was everyone in the room. It was everyone. And that really genuinely kind of struck an emotional chord with me, that helped me appreciate that the greatest asset that we've got in this business is each other. You know, and when you think about it, when you look over the 42 years history of Niken, you know, the product range has varied over the years, hasn't it? Products have come in and products have gone out, and you know, categories have perhaps remained consistent or been enlarged upon over the years. The compensation plan has evolved as well. But the core philosophy of what we're all about has remained constant. And that was really something that was embodied at the event over the weekend. That principle and spirit of humans being more, I think, was personified in great abundance, with an incredible team spirit that just made me come home feeling so proud with the associations that I've got with so many wonderful people, so many dear friends. And so for me, it was the wonderful sense of family, that social pillar, that family pillar, that really was strengthened for me over the weekend. So to me, it was a big thank you to everyone else. So I think that brings our time to a close. Thank you to everyone that shared your thoughts and feelings on the weekend's events. I hope for those of you that weren't there, you got a nice glimpse of what we experienced, and let's make sure that we make that happen. A quick side note, for those that weren't there, we did introduce a website which provides lifeandbalancetools.com is the name of the website, printed materials, print-on-demand materials for consultants, including starter kits, prospecting tools, printed catalogs, beautifully designed business cards, fantastic resources. Now, if you're not in North America, if you're dialing in from the UK or Europe, these guys print for and ship to North America. So don't be disturbed or put off by that. The artwork is already done. This week, I'm going to be looking for a local supplier that will be able to provide the print-on-demand service that this company does. So we'll be all off a week or so behind the schedule there, but these things will be made available for Europe as well. So don't you panic about that. They'll be coming. It's just as soon as I find a quality supplier to fulfill that need. So ladies and gentlemen, please make good use of those tools and resources. Get them into people's hands. I think we all concluded that it's time for action. We've got the tools, we've got the knowledge, we've got the team, we've got the message. Now we've got to go out there and spread the word. So let's be wonderfully evangelical in our cause. Get the word out with enthusiasm and with faith and with conviction. And let's put, as Mike said, or as Dave said, sorry, a bigger footprint on the world with what we've got to share. Thank you all very much. Have a great week, and we'll speak again soon.
Thank
Bye.
you.